So looking at Roger's board, he's got more fingers of flat in the back than the front. You aware of that?
I have a whole quiver of different setups. Like,
well, Raj, get the setup you're riding right now.
Well, the thing is, like, none of it matters. Like, as far like I'll ride anything. So like, there are definitely certain boards where like, all right, this works for flip tricks, and this works for this.
Right.
And like right now, I have a board that I'm like just trying to like really dial in front side nose.
Get that
slides. So I like modified it.
Because I feel like that's the board you ride the most, right?
I'm literally only riding this board right now to just basically
for that,
for one trick right now, because like I know this is gonna work for this trick.
Okay.
Where the Andy Anderson board I have for everything, it's like all around perfect for me.
Gotcha.
But like it's lacking something as far as other tricks, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
So. And that's what interesting. Andy Anderson's board, every single edge of that board has a purpose.
Yeah.
It's a functioning board for each little trick that he has.
Yeah.
Which is incredible.
Mind blown
Yeah.
by that.
All right. So this next board is basically a Toy Machine reissue New Deal graphic that you had made. New Deal. PS6. Originally had like a 15-inch wheelbase. I actually drilled the wheelbase back.
Okay.
I know it's not drilled properly. I know the trucks are definitely slightly off.
Okay.
But it gave me a bigger nose in order for me to
just like Ed back in the day.
Yeah, get that leverage to pop over. But then I ran into the problem of like friction, so I actually sanded out a hole right here to basically get less friction while sliding, and actually it helped quite a bit.
So and in general, the concave is bellied a little bit this way, right? You know, so you took it also, you made it stable, because by doing this, you now have 2 contact points right here versus 1 in the middle
probably
of the
about
rocks.
3 fingers of fucking...
So it also is more stable in that slide, correct?
Yeah, totally.
So here he grips right over the bolts. He's got this mega grip going on.
That's his .005 grit.
I want my feet to stay on my board.
It's obvious.
Wow.
It's
glue.
not going nowhere.
Yeah.
Where'd you find that?
Mob.
Yeah.
Mob course.
makes it. Mob course.
Mob, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I bought a whole bunch of it from like some skate shop in the middle of nowhere.
Amazing.
Thanks to Prey World.
Did you get enough? It might be over. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That's one of those kind of things sometimes.
Yeah.
So you can still check the fingers of flat by looking at the bolt holes. Okay. So we got pretty much 1 3/4 fingers here. Got 2 and maybe an 8. Did you do a 1/4 inch back in the truck holes?
I went about a 1/4 inch back, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So I think that was originally 15. I drilled it back about a 1/4.
Right. So your nose now is long.
And I think that nose was originally 7 inches.
Yeah, it's probably 7 1/4 because it's almost 7 1/2 now.
Yeah.
It's pretty big. And then the tail. 6 1/2.
Yep.
So then if we look at it from an angle perspective, let's see if my gauge can adhere through the thick grip. I'm not sure if it can.
It might go flying off.
I might need to get a new level of magnetization for this stuff.
Heavy duty.
It doesn't even want to zero out. Oh, there it goes.
Hey.
Okay, it's holding. So you're 35.9 at this end. Okay.
35.9.
Yeah.
Okay. Looks like the nose is a lot. So maybe
with tensors. Okay.
35.9.
So the same board with indies would be like 34.9 or something.
So this is probably going to be 33.2.
I think tensors actually copy the geometry of the indies.
They're more, where the axle sits is more like a Thunder Adventure.
Really?
Or originally. I haven't analyzed them lately.
Yeah. Because Eric Sentian designed these ones, and he said it was like trying to like get like an indie feel to them.
Yeah, 33.1. So here you're much less.
Ooh,
because
close,
of the length,
Chris.
right?
Yeah.
I'm getting the hang of it.
Now, looking at your wheels, you can see your back wheels and barely see your front wheel. So when I push on the edge here, this is really hard to get this one to go, right? You know?
I'm literally not trying to flip the board at all. I'm just trying to like front nose as far as I can and then pop over like a 6-inch wide curb.
Okay.
So that's why like I drilled the holes in the nose back. Remove the fucking the center like layer there in order to have less friction or whatever. My problem is getting over the curb right now, and I'm wondering if it's like I need a steeper nose.
Are you trying over like the actual like the square curb or the round one?
Square curb.
Wow, that's gnarly.
Yeah.
That's super hard to do.
Yeah. So
you're ollieing over it.
So I'm trying to like front nose and then kind of nollie over and land straight.
Front nose and just nollie over over it.
Yes.
Right.
But there's about 6 inches of surface on the top of the curb. That's why I drilled it back. So my toes.
So you can
hang
get
off
this.
the other end.
Yeah, I need to hang my toes at the very edge of the board in order to get the leverage over. For some reason, it's popping straight up, but not over.
Well, maybe we need to make you some slick bottom boards for that.
I was wondering if it's like a steeper nose might help.
Well, the one thing I would say is if you make the nose steeper and you're trying to do this, now you're going to be over here. But maybe,
yeah, the thing is, I want to be over there in order to get over on top of the curb.
But really, you want to keep this here, and you want to get your energy over, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think the length is more in reaching over that long curb, the wide curb.
I don't think you need a longer nose. I think you need just to find that.
It's like drilling it back and then drilling the hole has helped tremendously as far as slide and as far as leverage is like popping.
Right.
Because before I was riding it as stock.
And you're nollying into it?
No, I'm slapping into a frontside nose slide.
Nose slide.
And then I'm trying to nollie over it.
Right.
But before I drill it back, I would seriously, I would slide probably about 6 feet. And then when I nollie, it goes straight upward.
Okay, so just try it backwards tomorrow.
You think going off the tail?
Just try it backwards. The math, if what you're saying is right, you're not going to have the surface area, but you're going to have the leverage. So just try that and see if the leverage works. And if so, then it's combining the attributes together to make the right thing.
Why the tail though? Just because it's
because the angle was so high. Okay, the math told me the tail.
Oh.
So the tail angle on that one is higher than the nose?
By a long shot.
Yeah.
It was 1.5 degrees.
Yeah.
Which is huge. Normally I have a variance, because we're not drilled back like that, 0.3, 0.5.
Yeah, because the higher the angle of the thing you're sliding on, which would be the nose or tail,
right,
you get that. No matter what, you're going to get that leverage on the curb because you're already. It's the steepness of the board is determining where it lies on the slide, what angle it is on the slide.
Right. So it's a combination of all the things, but ultimately the flatter part here is having less reaction. This, with the bolt holes being close, is going to have more reaction. You tried the trick before you drilled it back?
Yeah.
I assume?
I did.
Did you try the trick gouged out before you drilled it back?
What do you mean gouged out? Oh, like with the hole?
Right. No, the nose.
Yeah, and it was just basically so much friction there that I couldn't slide far.
Right, but which did you do the gouge after you moved the truck holes?
Yeah.
Okay. And so that's because you had a huge flat spot there, which is why your friction increased.
So when I originally tried to do the front nose popover, I was doing it at the 15-inch wheelbase, whatever, no gouge, and it wouldn't. The slide wasn't consistent at all. I couldn't slide very far at all. I drilled it back. It got better. I now had more. I had more surface area on the slide, and I felt I was a little more comfortable sitting on it on the curb. But it was still, every time I tried to pop, I would just go straight up in the air, not up and over the.
So we have a goal here. We're giving up on the get Chris on the stage hashtag, and we're going the get Roger over the curb.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
I'm with it.
Yeah.
Get Roger over the curb.
Yeah, get Roger over the curb.
Working on it. I'm almost there. I've gone it over a couple of times, but Paul, it's not consistent at all.
This is the type of stuff that I'm talking about, though. Every time I come over here, he's got some weird thing going on with his boards, his quiver. Not all the time, but
I'm trying to problem solve what I'm working on at the time.
Yeah.
So it sounds like
I applaud it. The willingness to try is a start.
Yeah.
So how did you gouge, by the way?
I basically used my grinder with a sanding disc wheel and
grinder?
and just
damn
got rid of a layer, and it helped. I slide further now because there's less surface area there.
Right.
So
but also because you abraded the wood and the wax from your curb is now penetrated your wood.
Yeah.
And it's become waxified.
Yeah. But the problem though is that the curbs we skate though, it's at the beach and there's sand. The sand is constantly turning into grip tape.
Yeah.
And we seriously scrape it every couple of hours in order to keep it sliding consistently.
Yeah, the sand's just embedded in the wax.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fascinating, man. Yeah. So, Raj, you try your tail tomorrow, and I guarantee you'll probably do it first try.
I can't guarantee it, but it doesn't tell you that leverage. Because if you tell me, I'll make you a board that works for it. Like if that gives you an answer, you're like, I'm feeling it.
So with the curb, whatever, I I found like with normal nose slides, if I have like a little bit of like of the nose hanging over the edge, I can pop over no problem. If it's the same length of the curb, it is so difficult to pop over because I don't have that leverage to pop over.
Let me say a yardstick. So here's the example. Here's his problem. When he's trying to get over the curb and it's too short, he can do nothing. And he hangs it over.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. But the thing is the way that, you slide on a curb and you're going to pop out or flip out, it's all about that angle of that leverage, right? The only difference is he's trying to go up and over, but if he's still got that pop as if it was a normal ledge,
so
he could do it.
So I'll make the board with a steeper nose on it. Okay, a steeper, longer
That's what I was wondering.
And
like
a steeper leverage.
That's exactly what I was wondering.
Will help with that.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was wondering. Like, do I need a steeper nose?
So it's whether a mold is symmetrical or not. But my most common mold at my factory is not symmetrical.
Okay.
Then the last 3 inches of the nose is 4 degrees steeper than the tail.
Interesting.
Okay.
Right.
And that's a mold I built in '98 that was known as the Element Featherlight mold.
Yeah.
And in that era when I made it, I was working with Chris Markovich and doing development work and making a board thinner and meeting his needs, and he had to have more concave. And everybody kept on telling me, I want my nose taller. So I just made it taller.
And that was it.
So we make that nose taller, we'll get you over the curb.
There we go.
Yeah, I think that's all I really need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get Roger over the curb.
Get him over the curb.
Hashtag get Roger over the curb.
Seriously.
Because it makes sense, though. If your board's like this, right?
Right.
You're going to have, this is the only thing you have to work with. But if
Yeah.
your board's steeper, if your nose is steeper, you're going to have more.
So if you have 5 degrees less on this end to move, you're going to be 5 degrees closer to your goal already,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
Right.
And the issue is really right when you get to that point where your body weight is on top
It's
of
getting
the
my
edge of the
shoulder
curb.
and head over the curb.
Right. You have to get your body weight over or it doesn't work.
Yep.
It's a dirty ass board.
What's up with that? Grimy beach?
Grimy beach. Man.
Wax for days.
Feel more comfortable now, Raj.
No, it kind of like answers my own. I mean, I already knew. I kind of feel like I needed like a steeper nose in order to make this happen.
Right. But by drilling it back, you got the distance, but not a steeper nose.
I got the
steep
leverage, but now I don't have the torque in a way
Right.
to pull
Yeah,
over.
I would
you know?
agree.
Yeah.
That's a good way to look
Need
at it.
that torque.
Need a torque,
Got to
man.
torque that thing.
Torque it. No, it's interesting. I mean, as a skateboarder, I don't think I would just try to figure out what was wrong with myself, rather than and like
board.
getting the trick, rather than adjusting my whole board,
Modifying
for
it. Yeah.
that one trick.
So I also ride that Andy Anderson board, which is probably the most perfect board I've ever ridden in my life. Damn. It's insane how well balanced this thing is.
Cool.
But never had the leverage in order to pop over the curb the way I want to. That's why I started riding that one and drilled it back. But one thing about the Andy Anderson board is the flight construction.
Yep.
By removing the cross ply and using just carbon fiber.
Yep. It's not carbon fiber. It's just fiberglass.
It's fiberglass. It's incredible though. Yeah. Like it really is incredible. Like, and the funny thing is about those boards, I've noticed. Like I've ridden like VX and I've ridden like a lot of the impact stuff. I don't get the splinters that I get from those other boards.
Yeah.
Which is bizarre to me because it's like kind of the same fucking material.
Splinters.
But then again, it's
friction cracks?
No, it's like splinters from the fiberglass.
The secret on that board is the resin, and George understands resins. He
got
makes wheels.
Yeah.
That's a reality. He makes urethane, right?
Yeah.
He understands. He's a chemist. I'm a mechanical dude. I'm not a chemist at all.
Yeah.
You show me a chemistry chart, I'm like, huh, what? What's that mean?
Let me ask you a question real quick.
It's like you looking at the ruler and try to get 5/8 or something.
Yeah. I don't want to interrupt. Are you...
Oh no, I'm just basically saying like that's kind of like why I started riding that board.
Right.
But like this board for me, like I've been skating for.
Is that the mini one?
This is the small one, yeah.
Small one.
But I've been skating since like 1985, 86, whatever. This is probably the best skateboard I've ever had.
Yeah.
Like
That's great.
a long time. And it's like as far as like being a well balanced board and where tricks feel, because I'll just throw my board down, just skate it symmetrical, just kind of Chris does, and This thing has just been insane.
Andy's rad. There's no doubt about it. He came and skated that downhill run with us a couple weeks ago.
Amazing.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Yeah.
He's a great kid.
Yeah.
Great
He's
kid. Very
awesome.
talented, man.
Where is that like button? Right? Is it right here or right here?
Just a little scroll coming down the bottom.
It's
Subscribe.
over to it's on your
on my
left.
right? It's on
No,
my
on your
left.
left.
Hey,
Yeah.
hit
Right
that
there.
button right there.
Right there.
Right there.
Yeah, please.
The like button's kind of like in the middle there. It's like we're kind of like
it's like right here?
Kind of.
Like right
and
there?
The subscribe's like over to the left.
Like right over there. All right.